Hi, and thank you for joining our conference call study group. It's TargetedWest.com. I'm DJ Chris, and I'm your moderator and host. You're probably watching me on Bitchute, YouTube, or archive.org. You can download me on archive.org for posterity if there's something you want to watch later or share. I'm a man in the middle. I'm not a terrorist, a domestic, or whatever. I'm an old dude in a camper trying to figure out why I have telepathy for 20 years. I'm basically the black sheep of the TI community. I don't talk to many people. I'm not associated with anyone. I'm just me, an old man with the TargetedWest moniker and a website, and basically, putting my best foot forward to provide you with information and the book club, of course, that we have. It's a freestyle book club, so you pick a book, you study it, and then you get back and let us know what you think. Hello, Tranquility. Hello, everyone. Today is the 28th of August, 2022 at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think this is video number 22, so that's 10, 20, and a 2. 22 videos. I've shown up for 22 weeks without fail. I've never missed this opportunity because it gives me structure, like I was saying to someone earlier, and it keeps me from going crazy from the telepathy. Our first subject we're going to talk about was quantum scalar waves. I've always wondered how the quantum computers speak to me and my brain, and apparently my DNA and the quantum computers communicate through each other using that distance, using some type of technology. That's the entanglement. It's remote entanglement, basically. If you watch Anthony Patch, you'll understand how entanglement works with DNA. And a quantum computer can mimic that, and it syncs together with your brain, and you become one with a neural network. You become one with a hive mind. This is all viable technology that's been out for a while. It's part of the fourth industrial revolution I speak of often, 4IR. That's what mostly our focus is about: neural rights, neural weapons, neurotechnology, and holistic methods in which we can fight back. And the quantum scalar and scalar waves themselves were hidden for over 100 years. Scalar waves are a method, the spooky method, like Einstein said, that can make something remotely do something. And it's longitudinal, and it basically works with your DNA. Your DNA is so strong and is basically the master signal in your body, and everything syncs up with it. But what apparently Anthony Patch is talking about is that they want to modify our DNA and turn us into one with the machine, into the hive mind, into the quantum computer. Now, the qubits and the chipset in these quantum computers use a form of scalar waves. That's how many signals can be made using two of the same signals, which creates an interference signal. And this has all been hidden by the scientific community, and it is part of the fourth industrial revolution, is remotely controlling people. This is complete body control, not just your brain and talking in it. It's your emotion, your will, your physical self. They're basically turning us into machines without our permission or knowledge. And most people are so sidetracked by all the civil unrest and political crap going on right now that they have no idea what's going on in front of them. Anthony Patch thinks this is part of the Great Reset, the manipulated fake reset, and that we're all going to be one with the machine. That's what that is about, and I have put a nice, nifty tweet on Twitter, TI Club 3, for you to review about that. And I put Anthony Patch's 10-minute interview on YouTube on there, but the video I did about the quantum scalar waves and the entanglement using lasers or audio, because your body gives off a resonance, even an audio type of resonance that can be heard by only special machines that know patterns. That's how these machines pick you up, is they're pattern recognition machines. And that's how they do it. It's used for war. It's used to manipulate and modify humanity to make us all one into the Borg. So go to, so anyway, that quantum scalar wave video disappeared. And I can't disappear my paper record. I had it on here and I went back to study it and Twitter took it off. Is that amazing? So I had to put it back on, and I think it's at the top of my feed right now. And there's a guy with an Indian accent that talks about him. Brian Coffin is on there, and it's quite informative. I really believe you should listen to that if you want to know how we, the people with our V2K and telepathy, live. It's no fun. And again, if you want to subscribe to anthonypatch.com, you can. It's $10 for contributor a month. I don't have the money for that now, but if anybody's interested, can you do that? And, I know it's a lot to ask, but you can contribute that information to us. That would be great. I can do it later when I have more money, but right now I have no money. And the air conditioner is off, so I can talk a little lighter. It's a little cooler today. It's 89 degrees, starting to cool off here in beautiful Lodi, California. You can see I have the window closed so the light doesn't blast you out. So next thing to talk about is TI Day, which is tomorrow, August 29th. This is a worldwide event all over the world, and people get together either by electronic means or in-person means to discuss and solve and try to disseminate information to the public about our plight and our torture that we get. In my case, I have the weapon of mass distraction, which I've spoken about and written about in my books. And basically, they can get you to trip and fall and break your neck by distracting you. Hey, Joe. Hey, Hannah and everyone. Good call. Let me switch my mode. I had the mode wrong. There we go. I can see everybody. Oh, wow. Hey, you guys all snuck in on me. I'm talking to myself. I thought I was. Whoa. Hello. A big crowd. So TI Day's tomorrow. I don't know if anyone's doing any events for that. I'd kind of like to know if you can let me know tonight in the show. That would be great. So TI Day Worldwide is the 29th. It's a Monday. You could probably send some emails out to kind, considerate, informative emails to interested parties that you can think of that are of importance. The key to this is having everybody use their think tank in their head to come up with a solution. And everybody's got their own niche and their own style and their own sectors and industry. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. So you could focus on your background. That way you'll be able to talk in their lingo and disseminate this information about targeting. So that's TI Day tomorrow, the 29th. I don't know what you have for plans for that, but that's going to be cool. We've had them for a while now. At least the weather's cooler, not in some places. So we can talk about that as a topic. I'm going to have a sip of RC Cola, our non-sponsor sponsor. I hope everybody's hanging in there. Next subject matter is Scare Court. It's really called Care Court, but I call it Scare Court because they want to criminalize mental illness of the homeless in California. And the disability rights organizations are screaming bloody murder that this is, you can't do this to people because it's going to turn into conservatorship every time, or you go to jail if you don't perform in civil court with a district attorney as your guide. They don't even have the mental counselors hired yet. They're at a crisis level with the counties, and their mental health departments have nobody working there. They're short. So who's going to facilitate all the administrative duties of going to court and representing people in a tent that have to drag their butts all the way to some civil court and clean up, to be told to take pills that'll make them sick unless they manage it, which you won't have that option. Because I know it's going to be a kangaroo forcing people into uh, involuntary treatment, and involuntary treatment doesn't work. You have to have someone willing to want to get treatment or help. You know damn well the number one, I don't want to say the F word, but the number one effing reason why we have people on the street with mental illness is because they're homeless. Why don't you solve the housing problem in California? And then instead of building these 4 and 5 bedroom mega houses, why don't you start building some small houses for people? I'm sure there are a lot of people that aren't homeless would love to have a tiny house, but you don't make them because it's not cost effective. It's amazing you do it. You do this to yourself. You have no housing. It's how you solve the homeless mental problem, dumbasses. Oh, that makes sense. And so Scare Court, my psychiatrist, is involved in that. And now I'm wondering, but yeah, there's a big scathing report about the talking points about this Care Court of California. And it's on my TI Club 3. If you want to read it, it's in detail. And the Disability Rights Organization has a whole couple articles for you to read about that. So I had pushed back on 4.3 on my first show about Care Court. And I was skeptical. They don't even have the infrastructure put together yet. They haven't even passed the bill yet. But it's their solution. They just talk about the solutions that they don't have yet. It's all, the same talk and no solutions. There are more homeless people now than there was in 4.3 when I started talking on this microphone. And it's getting worse. I see it. And they just move people from state to state, put them in an airplane, make it someone else's problem. I emailed Laura, and I was hoping she would come in and talk, so she might pop in here and talk about the Aspen Institute since 1949. They're a human rights organization or think tank, or looking at humanity and trying to prevent wars and such, but they're all over the world, and I've heard them on NPR, and I know their slant is towards the left, but it was started by Walter, and some man named Walter, and CEO of the Container Corporation of America in Chicago, and this was his baby, was his think tank, and it's based in Aspen, Colorado, and it's also a ski resort or ski school. So if you want to do some research, that's a topic you could talk about if you're knowledgeable about the Aspen Institute. I will learn more about it. And there's some links about it on the GI Club 3 Hooch, my Twitter page. So that's another subject we could talk about. And I'm going to look at the time. It is now 6:15. Got a very large crowd. I appreciate every single one of you taking the time to come check out our study group. Informal, of course. There's no homework. If you want to watch my videos afterwards to replay what I said, you can go to YouTube, and I'm there under Targeted West Show, and I'm on BitChute under Targeted West Show, so you can review it again and go there, and you'll click I always put a link in BitChute for you to go further. And plus, I do a lot of, I see, oh, Whitey. Hey, Whitey. Hey. Hello, honey. Got all my favorite people are here. Everybody's my favorite. You guys show up every week. I show up. That's rude to not show up. I don't like it when people don't show up. You guys are Johnny on the spot, my God. You really want to help solve this. It just takes one person. The the giant, the Goliath thing, that proverb and stuff, fable. I believe that's true. It only takes one squeaky wheel to stop the machine. Or squeaky wheel, yeah. They got to give you the grease. I used to say that at the collection agency I worked at, which my telepathy is obsessed with. It was a job I needed. I had no money and I needed a job. The worst job I ever had. But they used to tell me to say the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and they were right. So if you want to do some Aspen Institute research, you can. They had Hillary on there. They had John Baptista, the horn player artist from the night show. They had, what's his name, Bruce, that's now a tranny. I can't remember his name. He's on there. It's just kind of a strange organization. I'd like you guys to kind of check that out for me. That'd be great. That Laura brought that up, by the way, through my email. And hello, Nancy. Hey. And if you want to send me any tips or information, send it to djchris@targetedwest.com anytime. And I get up in the morning and check them every day, several times. Okay, I'm going to try a little bit of cannabis. I'm trying a sativa right now, which is more mood elevating, as I'm finding the indica is making me sad. This is a mukbang with drink and cannabis, of course. It's in the notes. And that keeps me calm because I've got this dialogue of the terrorists in my head going. They go on at the beginning of the show to try to break me down. And that seems to be their current theme is what do they need to do, whoever they are in my head, is what are they going to do to break me down? They want to break me down so bad. And I've heard that's a theme with other people, and they're targeting too. What do you guys think in the chat room? Yeah? Do you guys get that too, that they want to break you? But that's the whole purpose of this, is to break you down. Oh, you are? Yes, see? Whitey says yes. Yeah, and they have to keep bringing it up to me. They go, when are you going to break down? And I said, well, I'm already broken down. I've been broken down for years. Can't break the broken down, and I'm a half-dead homie. So what good is it going to do? There's nothing more to break. The bull in the china shop has come through, and I'm stronger because of it. My father was a Freemason and very strict and very creepy and financially abusive to the extreme, and he broke me at an early age. I'm already broken. I don't need to be broken again. There goes the air conditioning, but that's okay. It's just too damn hot in here. As a matter of fact, I gotta wipe myself off. So let me go to the, oh yeah, a little fun subject matter. We'll take a break from the seriousness. I am, yeah, it's been 20 years, Nancy. I've had V2K. This is 20 years. It's my anniversary. I decided if I can do 20 years of telepathy, I'm going to do a call and do the best I can and make it fun for people to relax a little bit. Yeah, so I'm like, and I'm also HIV positive for 30 years. So I've got two different pony horse games I'm playing. I'm not playing them. I've been to 2 rodeos, I should say. And the HIV and the whole thing seems so suspicious to me. That's a whole nother whole thing we could get into. It's so protected. There's very little information, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it came from Fort Detrick or Camp Detrick, whenever they invented it. They changed the name of it from Camp to Fort. So next subject matter is electric trucks. So they're in California telling us we all got to buy electric vehicles. So I did some research. And in order for me to replace my gasoline engine truck that tows this house I'm living in, my RV, I would have to spend $74,000 on a tow-equipped electric truck by Ford, the only one that makes it so far. And even with the electric motor coolers, the extended battery range, the only range that you can get towing a 5,000-pound RV is 90 to 100 miles. Could you imagine driving in your RV and having to wait hours to recharge every 90 miles? And you think this electric technology is available already and it's viable? Who are you trying to kid, Newsom? Who are you trying to kid, California? What are you trying to do to us? You're putting us on these vehicles on our grid that's broken half the time. PG&E doesn't care. Edison doesn't care. And you're going to push the grid further by putting all these vehicles on it. By 2026, you're going to push us to hybrids. In 2035, we have to go full electric. And you've got a truck with a 90-mile range. How am I going to tow my house? I have to stop and charge for hours. How am I going to park my truck and RV in the charging station? Have you thought that out? How about somebody that has a fifth wheel with a big dually truck? Did they make an electric version? No, they only make the F-150. Don't make a big heavy duty yet. But you're going to outlaw gasoline vehicles? And I know this is maybe not a targeting subject, but it is a targeting subject. They're targeting everybody to go electric, which is part of the fourth industrial revolution. Once they control your car, they can shut it off. They can control your grid power. They can control your ability to get somewhere. They can control your vehicle when you're not up to their standards and control you. Control where you go, restrict where you go. Yeah, and they think this electric grid's going to handle it? I mean, they're already telling us to put our thermometers to 78 to 80, and there's no water. You can't go anywhere to go look at the water in your electric car because you don't have much range. But the funny thing is the Ford truck has a range of 320 miles if you have one person in it with no load. Does that sound viable to you? And the average Tesla is $70,000. Can you guys, I don't really make a lot of money. I couldn't afford that. Can you imagine what electric gasoline, so apparently you can buy used gasoline vehicles. I mean, that's my rant. That really disturbs me. With all the crap going on and the homelessness and everything, they're going to make us get electric cars. It's almost as if they're literally trying to see how far they can push us. It's getting really crazy. The technocrats are not going to win. It's now 25 after the hour, 6:25. This is DJ Chris, TargetedWest.com study group, conference, chit-chat, chatting away. It'll be open mic in a few minutes. I talk a lot. Next subject matter, changing subjects. Next subject matter is the war on drugs is a war on people. My targeting started with a war on drugs incident. My neighbor was a prosecutor for the DA and decided he was going to take me down and got the sheriff involved. And within a couple of weeks, I got the telepathy that sounds like the sheriff in Law and Order that just doesn't go away. I have it now. Every time I go to the bathroom, they tell me I'm going to prison. Literally, I walk in the bathroom, I'm going to prison. It's programmed by the using probably geointelligence through the ceiling X-ray or through my eyes, through the remote neural monitoring and the technology they use. And they use the fan in the bathroom. You have to have a fan in the bathroom, not to go into details, but you need one. And then they use that fan as a vortex to make it louder. So the war on drugs is a war on people, and it's a failed war on drugs. And now Colombia, the country of Colombia, is going to Decriminalize cocaine. That's right. Cocaine is now decriminalized in Colombia. They have given up. It's just not worth it. We have all these pharmaceutical companies. They could make something for people. I don't understand why we don't have harm reduction or an alternative. This is getting ridiculous. Both Sigmund Freud and Halsted invented modern hospitalization and surgery. And Sigmund Freud is the person who coined a lot of ideas that psychiatrists come up with to treat us. And he had a cocaine addiction, and he quit, and then came up with all his profound ideas. You don't think that was cocaine fuel, even though he wasn't on it at the time? Give me a break. The cocaine already did its effect. But back in the 1890s, cocaine was okay. It was in Coca-Cola, and it was in a song or two. But then, in the 80s, it became the war on drugs and Nancy Reagan, and anything with a rock that was crack cocaine, you got 40,000 years. And if it was a bag of cocaine at the office with your executives, you get 1 month probation. And then in '94, when Biden decided to do the jail reform and crime reform with the COPS program, that's Community-Oriented Police Service through the DOJ, which I believe my contractor is involved with. And he started that, so it made it even worse, and he put everybody in jail for cocaine. And the son does. I'm not against Biden, but his son did it. But you're at the same time. So what did they do? Did they target his son to mess with him? Because that's a big CIA thing. The cocaine's used to trade for weapons and such. That's a big business for the underground or the organized crime people who are loosely involved with our government, believe it or not. So can you believe that? Is that a subject for a topic? Is cocaine is being decriminalized in Colombia? Discuss that in your open mic. Two more subjects and we'll go open mic. Next subject is the Imagineers. Whoops, I skipped. The Poisoner in Chief, I finished reading about CIA Stanley Gottlieb, and that's a real scary, sad, depressing book. And I read the whole entire book, and I give it a 5, and I recommend Poisoner in Chief about Dr. Stanley Gottlieb. Steve Lenzer, I think, is the author. It's on Amazon. It's on my TI Club 3 feed for you to click on. And I recommend it so you can see how the CIA thinks. It's Sidney Gottlieb. Dr. Sidney Gottlieb. He was a Jewish young man from the Bronx. He was very patriotic. So he never thought he was doing anything wrong when he was making poisons and doing things with LSD and such. And that's part of the MK Ultra, Artichoke, the Bluebird. Bluebird means to get someone to sing. They're basically just using drugs to see if someone's a communist because it's during the Cold War. It's bottom line. They'll hit you in the head with a rubber hammer 100,000 times and play the song Rubber Hammer on a tape recorder to see if they break you. They'll do anything. That's what they did for a living. And I believe that this is MK Ultra 2, the digital electronic version, because I gleaned a page out of that book that said they were going to try electronic methods back then in the 50s. They've probably been doing longer than that. So, of course, it's CIA-based. It's not them doing it, probably. It's contractors, but some of it's the torture and the talking and the words. That's CIA. The technology, NSA, maybe. They all work together. The war on terror. Remember, you've got one umbrella. You've got the Homeland Security. Everybody's under them. 9/11, we're under emergency mode. We have not been out of emergency crisis mode since 9/11. National emergency mode, or whatever they call it. So there is no constitution. They're allowed to do this legally with a FISA court and everything. So I give Poisoner in Chief about Sidney Gottlieb a 5. Our next book after that is going to be The Imagineers of War by Sharon Weinberger. That's going to be our September read. So it'll be cooler then, and you can cuddle in and read a book with me, because I haven't read it yet, but I bought it. And that was recommended by James, who is on Tuesday and Thursday nights on Ella's Call. Please check him out. That's James. That'll be your September read. We'll rip the paper away from that's your next week's show. I've already got started written out. That'll be 9/4. And we'll be doing a 9/11 show too. And it won't be anti-government 9/11. It'll be about how many people's lives were lost over 9/11. Around the world, that is, not just in New York or anywhere else in the United States. I'm talking about worldwide. So we're going to flip this over to open mic, and I'm going to switch to open mic. You're all unmuted and are muted, and if you want to talk, hit *6. It's open mic until 8 p.m., 1.5 hours of open mic. And the chat room's hot. If you don't have access to the chat room, try using your browser on your cell phone or use the app. I think you can access it there. Hey, hello. Setsa, hello. Welcome to the call. And Setsa, I have the appropriate amount of cookies available. I did delete my computer cookies, but I replenished my physical cookies, and my cats are great. Pika, come here. Pika, speak. Never talk when I want you to. What? Pika's here. She is a short hair Chantilly Tiffany that's a offshoot of Fluffy, although he's spayed. She's a great cat, and she's kept me from going crazy by keeping me comforted and keeping me from losing my mind from being assimilated into the Borg, into something I don't know anything about still, because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. My therapist doesn't think this is electronic. She thinks it's organic. My clinic for my health issues thinks it's schizophrenia. So they came up with a schizophrenia diagnosis in 10 minutes. I've had pizzas that I've ordered that have been quicker than that. And my regular doctor says ignore them. How can you ignore that? They put it in Epic Health Systems, computer systems. So if I have a broken foot in New York, they're going to say, well, you're having a mental breakdown. Maybe you need to be locked up into the mental hospital because you've got a tag on your account as being schizo. So it's a label, and you can't do anything about it. Don't you believe anyone? That's how they do it. And I wonder how much they made off of that. Anyway, open mic. I'm going to take a break. Don't be shy. So that's not nice. They don't eat cats in Alabama, but they do have stars that fall in Alabama. My heart beat like a hammer. Your eyes held a tender glow. I love that song. Beautiful record. Stars Fell on Alabama. Many people have sung it. It's an older song. Welcome, Alabama. Yeah, aren't we silly? Well, we like you. You're cool. Anybody want to talk on the open mic? It's leisure, relax, chill. Anybody new want to talk? Anybody want to ask me a question? Or whatever.
Yeah. You mentioned Anthony Patch earlier. I looked it up once. I don't know why I'm never successful going through. If you posted it on your site, it's not going to work for me. I'm tired of trying because that doesn't work for me. But I refresh our memory briefly because I can't recall why that name sounds familiar. Can you tell us who Anthony Patch is?
Because he talks about the mark of the beast and the quantum entanglement, and he is very religious and talks about God a lot, so you probably have heard him through those circles. And he talks about quantum computers and quantum physics and how they're weaponizing it. And he has a subscription-only service now because he's been targeted and censored so much that he had to go private.
Okay, thank you.
And if you want to check him out, he's at anthonypatch.com, and he has subscription models you can follow. And like I said earlier, TargetedWest is independent. We're not involved with any organizations. We're just me, old man with his moniker of TargetedWest.com. That's all it's been. Nothing hidden, nothing special, no deals, no backroom deals, no side deals, no email deals. Nobody talks to me. Like I said, I'm the black sheep of the community, and I love it because it's so quiet and peaceful in my world. Open mic. Oh, that chat room's going hot. I'm gonna have to repeat what's going on in there. That's like, it looks like someone's playing casino.
You also asked if anybody knew of. I don't think there's any events tomorrow. National TI Day is a Monday, so I don't think anybody's scheduling. But the next event that I saw that's coming up is in October in DC. That's all I know about, and that was in Derek's newsletter.
Very nice.
And also, I think something is important. I signed up for it. If you order anything off of Amazon, which I do sometimes, you can sign up under Smile Amazon. And this was also in his newsletter. And choose People Against Covert Torture and Surveillance International. You have to spell it out, and PACs will get like half. I think it's half a percentage of the proceeds of whatever you spend.
I don't go to Derek's calls, so I don't know anything about them.
Okay. I didn't know if you got his newsletter or...
No, I don't get his newsletter. No, I don't get anybody's newsletters.
I have heard you on there or seen you in the chat. Maybe that's it. Maybe I've seen you in the chat on Derek.
No, I don't go anymore because it just puts me in a mood, and it's nobody's fault. It's just, I'm tired and I need a break, so I've been doing my own thing.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I'm kind of overexposing myself too, so it's like, I get stressed out too, so I need a break. So what I've been doing is working on my music and stuff, but I'm not against anyone. I just don't frequent many calls, and I barely go to James' calls. So
that's a nice idea. I think you just said working on your music. If I were to get another Yamaha keyboard, I'd certainly take to playing it again instead of I need to wean myself off of some of those calls.
Yeah, and if you're new or if you need to be there for a reason, I think I think they're great calls, but I get so tired after 6 that this just I'm not in a good mood. But get the Yamaha. I used a Roland MC909. It's a DJ groove box, and I made some original music I'm going to post soon that I made myself. So yeah, what I've been doing is trying to get everything uploaded that I've made.
Well, that's nice that you're making original music. I'm just uh, hoping to be able to play a lot of the songs that I know. So, but that's neat. It would be a good outlet instead of a conference call, I think, for me. So thanks for that mentioning.
Yeah, and you could play the keyboard on the call here at the end of the night for us.
Oh, that would be nice. If I could just get the keyboard and start practicing again.
And it has, hopefully it's religious because it's Sunday, so it's a Sabbath, yeah. And so it's always appropriate to have religious music here.
Yeah, everything that I care to play and sing, just about almost everything, is definitely religious, praise and worship. I love it. I could play all day.
Yay. My book, Synthetic Dreams, that I was yakking about, is now available on lulu.com, and it's free. You get my book for free, no cost. Just go to lulu.com and look up TargetedWest or My Synthetic Dreams, and you'll find it. Or go to my Twitter page in TI3, and I got it there. So it's free now, available if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I came across probably your most recent on Amazon, but I still wish you would read one of them to us.
Well, actually, I'll read another portion next week. How's that?
Wonderful.
Let me jot it down now, or I will forget. Yeah, read. Excerpt. Okay. You're booked. Am I a weirdo using paper? I'm a retired Silicon Valley tech worker, tech support engineer, I guess, and specialist for decades, and I use a paper book because when you do tech your whole life, you don't want to be on the phone and you don't want to do tech. You want to be low tech.
Yeah. And speaking of books, if you know who Ken Lee is, he used to always come on when Ella had her call and or Targeted Massachusetts. His newest book, just published, something about victim's vengeance. It's a Marsha Lane suspense story, and it's $10 on Amazon. I wish he would narrate it, though, or I wish I could get it on audio. That would be nice.
Yeah, well, we'll have to check that out. Remind me of that next week, and I'll check that out.
Okay, or it's easier if I just send you an email to remind you.
Oh, that's right. You got my you got my emails. If you could please, or I will forget. Thank you.
Yeah, because I might forget too by next week. But yeah, any of these books on audio really help some of us TIs. I can listen to a book till Kingdom Come, but I can't always, take the time to read it.
I have to be in a certain mood to read it, and then when I read, it has to be a marathon, and then all of a sudden the powers that be don't want me to read.
Yeah, exactly. Both.
another thing is try to work on being happy as a TI. I know that's probably impossible for many people. I have to work on it full time. People think I'm happy, but I'm not. But I pretend to be, which fakes me out and gets me through the day. I can't explain it, but I've read about it and it works. So if that's a helpful hint, I guess it would be fake a smile. Psychologically, it works. Even the muscles in your face, if you hold that smile, you'll feel a rush in your body. And I do that when I ground. I smile, I meditate, I hum, and I come up with things in my head, things like forgiving myself for things or people which I have no right to be thinking about. I reposted Anderson Cooper's hacking of the brain video that he did on 60 Minutes with the Silicon Valley expert on cell phones, saying that they're hacking your brain. So I reposted that on Twitter, TI Club 3. Open mic. Britney Spears has a new song with Elton John. Hold Me Closer is what it's called, and it's kind of a dancey song. It's very smooth. It's nice. I like it, and I'm very proud that she's back because there's a Free Whitney thing, and she was a targeted individual, believe it or not. I believe she was human trafficked, and now she's free. I hope she's free, or maybe we think she's free, but she looks happier, and I think Elton's giving her, a lift. My telepathy brings Elton John up constantly. They do not like him, and they bring him up all the time. So that must mean he's not enlightened and didn't take the oath, the secret formula to success through satanic forces and such. And putting weird stuff in music that, like Michael Jackson said about Tommy Mottola, you're putting devilish things in my music. And you know what they did to Michael after that is he disappeared. So Free Britney was the big event, and I put an article on Twitter for fun. A light entertainment pop star is now coming back. And I like the underdog, and I happen to like her, and so check that out. Our next item on open mic. Oh, is that Lando? Lando Hugs, are you there? Well, the air conditioning is back on. I'm sweating like a pig. Hope you're enjoying the video. There he is. I was wondering if you're here. We're talking about a wide variety of items. We're spinning down to the last couple. And one thing I'm going to start researching is the Pike Committee in 1975. At the same time the Church Committee was going on, there was an additional group of people called the Pike Committee, and that group I'm going to do more research on as a topic. So I'll check that out. That popped up while I was reading the Stanley Gottlieb book. And the last is Human Intelligence 101. I'll wait for a little bit, and we'll just bring that up as a topic. If you know about human intelligence, that's great. I think I've had people try that on me before, where they try to gain information on you to find your weaknesses and get you to talk. I know, social media is like the biggest human intelligence platform in the world. You're crazy to give your personal information. I try to stay generic. I don't have my family on there or anything. I just use it for my website and this conference call mostly. but that's human intelligence. And yeah, they have human intelligence officers and people that glean information off of others by coercing them and tricking them into giving out personal information so that you can know what your enemy is doing or whoever you're associating with. And that will bring us to next week's subject, which is the biggest word I just learned today, and that's psycholinguistics. That's one of the processes in human intelligence we'll talk about next week. So that is the end of the seriousness. And the recording will stop in 9 minutes. So if you prefer to talk on the mic with the recording off, we'll be doing that in 9 minutes. So anyway, free to talk if you want to get in on the recording. You'll be forever in archive.org. Pika Kitty is back. That's short for Pikachu. It's open mic. I put this over here so I remember what to write later. I hope everybody's well. I hope you're not being tortured to the point of breaking. Don't ever let them break you. Do whatever you can to counter that. If you've got to multitask, keep busy, play music that they don't like, whoever they are, or whatever it is, then you do it. You come up with a strategy and stick to it, and you'll get some holistic relief from this because it's not ending right now. And this is a multi-trillion dollar worldwide program of political and social control. And it is very powerful and run by many powerful people, and the best kept secret in the world that an old man in a camper seems to know something about. Me. Oh, thank you. And this is being sponsored, I sound like a beer, by my favorite RC Cola. They're sponsoring it by keeping me awake to talk. But they're not really sponsoring. It's a joke. That's the other thing. You can't joke with TIs. They get crazy. But you can with a lot of them. So that's not true. You just got to find the ones that have a sense of humor. I didn't have a sense of humor when I was first targeted because I didn't have any information.
Yeah, I didn't. I lost my sense of humor for a couple of years initially too, but I'm so glad I got it back.
Someone asked me, is it targeting ratcheting down? Mine's exactly the same as it's been for 20 years. Mine's a word war in my head. I don't get live action because I'm a dude, and they do the live gang stalkings or sit-zone stuff to the ladies mostly to scare them, but they can't do it with the dude because I'm a big dude in a truck with, and I'm in a bad mood most of the time, so that wouldn't be good for them to do that. Plus, I know the Rockford 360 move. And of course, my house and my RV and my whole everything I own has got cameras on it. Even I have a camera on me when I go walking. I don't have a cell phone, but I haven't lately, but I have a little camera. Sorry, but you're in a litigious, vexatious world with a bunch of creeps and violent people in this weird social unrest we're going through. And you need to, document if you're having gang stalking or COINTELPRO or COINTEL. No, Rockford 360. Rockford is a move where if someone's following you, you coming towards you, you back up, you turn, put the parking brake on so the whole front slides forward, and then you go in the other direction. You can basically go in the other direction with the Rockford move. But no, there's no gun. Rockford never had a gun. He was a convict, remember? Got out of jail. He paid $250 to be a private detective at a private detective school. $50 a year, he said.
I didn't know he was a convict. I didn't remember that from.
Yeah, and they pardoned him, but he says he got set up. But that's the whole premise of the show. He's the underdog, and that's why I love the show.
Oh, there's also Rockford, Illinois, if anybody cares.
Yes, and there's Fosgate Rockford speakers too, which are very good.
Hey, Chris. This is Skip.
Hey, come on in.
Howdy. I don't think I've ever talked to you before. I've been a TI for many, many years. I'm very familiar with quite a few of the TIs around the other communities. You mentioned you're in an RV. I'm thinking of going to taking a 4-day vacation in an RV. I think I'm going to rent one, and me and my lady friend are going to go somewhere. And I wonder, do you have any suggestions? I know the perps are going to be wanting to tail me and stuff. Probably sabotage or, deflate my tires or whatever they do to RVs. Do you have any suggestions?
On where to go or how to protect yourself?
Sorry?
On advice on where to go in your RV. Places that go in the RV are usually where there's a lot of public, and you bring your little portable cameras with you on your rental RV, and keep an eye on people.
Yeah. I guess that's...
Well, I don't know what part of the country you're in, Skip, but you most likely have a drone on you. Some people don't even see it. I can usually, sooner or later, it'll show itself above me somewhere. But they like to keep in our blind spots or out of sight. But there will, my money's on. There will be a drone with you wherever you go.
Yeah, that could be. I don't mind drones. I just don't want anybody coming around and sabotaging my...
But that's one of the reasons the drone is there, because they rely on boots on the ground, on people to come up and do stuff like what you're talking about. They work together.
Pass barrier.
Okay. Well, that's the plan, so we'll see how it goes. I may buy an RV.
Oh, good luck. It's actually a lot of fun, and if you wait a little bit, you can buy an RV cheap because there's going to be a bubble bursting on them.
Yeah, you'll also, in spite of the drone and the people, that may bother you wherever you go, in spite of that, Skip, the targeting will never compare to what it is when somebody's in a permanent location. When you're mobile, it just does not compare. It's never as bad.
And yes, Rockford had a gun in his cookie jar, but he didn't carry it with him. You'll love the RV life. You'll get hooked, Skip, and then you'll want to live in one like me. I had a house, and I was never in the house. I was in the RV all the time. But I had perps for neighbors, and that's how I got in the RV thing 12 years ago. I bought an RV to escape my neighbors because they were keeping me up all night with their car alarm. And this ends my recording. If you're watching me on YouTube or BitChute or archive.org, I appreciate your time. We're going to end this recording now, and we're going to go to non-record mode. Thank you for watching my video online. Have a nice day. Thank you.